Hey ladies and gentlemen, how you guys been doing? It's boys in here and welcome back to We Just Debate. We just debate, or better yet, I just let out my inner opinion about something and how I look onto it to the general globe. However you find it, either you agree with it or don't agree with it, you can leave it in the comment section below. I also want to say that English, again, I'm always gonna repeat this, English is not my home language. I'm from Slovenia. So try to accept my sluttering, and I don't even know what kind of words I should use right now. But anyways, we're gonna talk about a particular person by the name of Anita Sarkeesian. Before we start with what I do not agree with this person, because you probably already know, if you're a gamer you would most likely have to know about her name because she's a well-known person nowadays, and we're gonna go into it why that is. But I want to first explain what exactly does she do. She's a media critic, basically a public speaker and a blogger that took advantage of something that, you know, would probably gain a certain population quite a lot of money if we actually dive and manipulate on the self insecurities of others. And this is exactly what Anita Sarkeesian is known for. Now, I'm nobody. This video is not gonna get a lot of views, so I know Anita Sarkeesian is not gonna feel threatened. Now, if I was a somebody and I had bad opinion on her, then I would be in a pickle, because this girl does not play games. This is what I consider right now. I'm gonna completely categorize her before I even speak of what she does and what she did and what she actually threw herself into being, or at least showcase herself as. She categorized herself as a complete sociopath that's very self-centered, egotistical. It doesn't care whoever she stomps upon as long as she gets them dineros, them money. It's all about them money. Oh, you know, that's how they work. That's why they work, yeah. But you know, just generally go into it. There's a YouTuber that's way more known than me, than I ever will be, and he gets a lot of views, and with that a lot of attention. And you know, he knows exactly what kind of responsibility comes with that. You know, he's not like Logan Paul, and he's not like Anita Sarkeesian. No, again, but these people just like to, they're like vampires, and you're like fresh meat. Honestly, you're just a suit for them to suck upon, and you know, have you for breakfast and dinner and lunch and who knows what else, basically, without giving you any true well, they're working on their agendas, that's what I'm trying to say. But Boogie is the guy that I'm talking about. Boogie, I have a lot of respect for that guy. Even heard and saw his recent struggles and successes with losing weight. And I know Boogie's not gonna watch this video. I know you can share it. He's very famous. I doubt he's ever gonna watch this, but I got a lot of respect for that guy. I find him very intelligent, and I know his wishes about, you know, dancing with his back before. I believe it was his fiancée, then became his wife, and I'm pretty sure that's gonna bound to happen. I mean, after 6 months, man, I've seen your struggles, I've seen your results, man. Keep it up, because you know you know exactly that, you know, doctors told you that you wouldn't be able to survive till 50 if it came down to, you know, just letting yourself loose. So I'm very, very glad that you back it up with a fight. So but you know, Boogie was one of those people that tends to represent the gaming community in a way. You know, he's a very well-spoken person, very intelligent, and I look up to that guy. I really do. And honestly, you know, as I'm not as much of a gamer. You know, I'm not as much as a gamer as I used to be. I've overstimulated myself in a way, but I still think that for being a gamer for about 20 years, I still want to put my 2 cents on the matter and talk about what I do not agree with Anita Sarkeesian, and why I just generally do not agree with her as a person, for what she even represents herself in. You know, I know that we have to take time to get to know a person in person, you know, in person, one-on-one, to truly know what they're all about. But it's pretty easy to say that this person has been very traumatized. I don't know what happened to you in life, Anita, but whatever it was, it must have been something very, very big, because that just doesn't work like that. Like, who would go that far to truly try to manipulate? But anyways, basically she's got this, she started with a Kickstarter of her project on a basic project called Damsels in Distress, which is all about general idea that you know, there's no general equality. You know, genders, females in games are always the weaker ones, are always there to be saved, and you know, there's not enough female heroes, and Mario always have to save Princess Peach. But to be honest, regarding Princess Peach is tough, actually. I think about it, you know. I mean, I'm not a fan of Princess Peach, to be honest, but I'm more, you know, when I was younger, I would say I was more about a fan of Princess Daisy. But honestly, there's something about Princess Peach that's tough. You know, Bowser and Mario, she always had them around their fingers. I mean, Princess Peach wanna get rescued, you know. She's got that fetish, man. She's got a fetish. She wanna get rescued. So you see, your argument is valid. Anita tries to find somebody else, because Princess Peach is definitely not a person you want to be tackling. Did you see what she did in the last Odyssey game? Whoa, you know, she was like, whoa, I got the shoes, you're running after me, lick my fucking foot. That's how it was. Mario is some submissive. He's so submissive, it's stupid. But and the same goes for Bowser. She's got them like this. So yeah, I wouldn't say she's a weak person wanna get rescued. She just likes the thrill of getting rescued, if you know what I mean. But probably also likes the thrill of getting tied up and who knows what else. But you know, I don't want to go into that, because you see, there is the problem. Anita Sarkeesian will automatically say games females are sexualized. But you see, fandom is in any gender. Fandom is in males and females. Anything is gender. Anything is gonna be fan made into hentai and you know, all this and drawn and you know, all sorts of animalistic things you will see on the internet. There's probably, you know, well, I'm not gonna categorize, but fans go in everything, man. They go in Pokemons, they go in everything, and whatever triggers people in excitement, they go there. But honestly, when it comes down to games, Anita does have a point. There's way more male protagonists than female protagonists, but there is a reason. One, these are single games mostly we're talking about, and yes, in single games, the general population of gamers tend to be males. And in a story that's not MMORPG, you know, where people actually want to play the female part because they like attention, which is strange you might have, because I don't seek attention in those games. I seek power and conquer and shit, and I don't want to be playing a female because I'm not a female. But some people like attention and they play a female for that reasons, plus the boobs and the last dress and all this stuff, which is sexualized, but you know, people don't complain. Females do not complain as much, and males do not complain. It's kind of strange. You cannot really generalize internet on gender, because you don't know who really is what, you know. You cannot really truly say this is a gender person, you know, over text. You don't know. But so statistics are hard to find. But in single games there is more a male protagonist, and that I give Anita credits. Of course, that's true. And of course, protagonists, males, what do they dream about? You know, some people want to be heroes. They want to go dive into, you know, into the fantasy world. They want to save their princess. They want to do all sorts of shit. They want to kill people. You know, stuff that you will not be able to do in real life. Maybe some things you will be able to do, but definitely not shoot people for the sake of saving somebody else. Anita Sarkeesian knows exactly where to strike. This is big for feminist elitists, because they will basically say, oh, okay, so developers are making females sexualized. They're making them weak. They're exposing them. They're making them look like a baby, basically a slut in a way. And you know, in a way, when you think about it, when you truly think about it, yes, it is categorized in some games like over the top, like no dress, and you know, they basically really do tease you with it completely. But generally speaking, when you really think about it, really, these games are age restricted mostly. And not just that, but the idea of actually saying, as you say, Anita, saying that you believe that, well, basically saying that there's not enough female protagonists that are being heroes. Well, there are some, and they're very memorable. and that really showcases it. Males have been playing this game since the beginning. Nintendo has been done with Samus, for example. Samus Aran is, I believe she's Aran, right? She's very known female protagonist, and you know, people didn't stop playing when they saw her put the helmet down. People still played her, female, male, don't care, they still played her. And while it may have been come out as a shock first time playing, thinking that it's probably a male, you know, that didn't stop them from playing it with the second game and the third game and so forth, you know. And Metro Prime was fucking fantastic. I love that game. It is true masterpiece. What else, you know, can I say about that is that we got other, like Tomb Raider, for example, we got, you know, and we got Bayonetta, and we got, nowadays more and more games are going to the female. But there is also some stuff that I've seen, some practice that I've seen that would most likely not happen if this feminine movement wouldn't happen. With this damsel in stress and attacking. Oh no, this is games of females stereotype is weaker and blah 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 blah. Basically, what's happening then is that some games do it for the sake of this idea. They want to do it for the sake of this idea. There are some games that you really know, okay, this is just because of that. Did this happen just because the damsel in distress was successful, and they know exactly where to hit it. They need to fill that hole, that weakness. And that's forced development. And forced development is bad practice. Forced development will always lose because they do not come in with heart. Their plans have been changed. Their male protagonist that was originally there and then being scared, oh no, we got a male protagonist, we had to change. It's basically going to become forced development. It's basically under control of a person that's a dictator. And that dictator is Anita Sarkeesian. And I don't want to like go too far with it, but as I mentioned before, with the sociopath and all these things that she tends to represent as a trait in her that I saw, there was a convention, you know, where people go together and they watch their favorite YouTubers live and they ask them the questions. Boogie was there, and he was pretty nervous. Boogie has got some anxiety things going on in his life. His life was pretty tough. I'm pretty sure he was a lot bullied, you know, in life because he was overweight. He had eating disorders. Not too sure how much that is true, but I'm nobody to say it's not, because, you know, of course he would know, and he's got no reason to lie. But I've heard a lot of people that are overweight tend to put it on the eating disorders instead of just saying bad habit. But again, eating disorder tends to be a thing when people are very stressed and they eat. But I'm not too sure about that one. Again, you know, he knows. I have no reason to believe he would lie, but that doesn't matter. What I do know is that he was there. And the way it was represented when Anita basically talked about how she was harassed on the internet, how she was, you know, basically threatened. People telling her somebody should rape you, somebody should do this and that. Look, it happens to everyone. Okay, internet, you cannot generalize one gender and say it doesn't happen to them, because there is a lot of genders taking advantage of their own gender. To be honest, Anita. Let's be honest here. Go on the Twitch stream. Look how many girls are actually not really gamers. They're just using their bodies. So how do you feel about those people? Did you ever mention them? Because they don't really care about the games they're playing. They just want to show their bodies. And people, horny guys, horny little kids. I mean kids, because horny guys would probably go watch porn. I have no reason to watch a Twitch streamer that's not a gamer. But basically it's using their bodies, right? But that doesn't matter. That's not going to be mentioned, but that's okay, because, you know, that's completely fine. Now what's not fine is that she is being threatened. She's being threatened, and she's female, so that makes it 10 times more worse than if it was a guy. But that's completely fine, because, you know, I'm all about equality. I'm all about equality in my life, because as a person that's got a girlfriend, I want her to know that I'm there for her, that I do understand her. I'm trying to do my best to understand her, and I seek that same from her, you know, because I know myself and love myself and I know exactly what I want. So with this kind of mentality that she's got is basically opposite. You know, I want you to treat me like this and this and this and this and this, but I'm above you. Always remember I'm above you and you're below me. You know why? because I'm very insecure. And yet somehow I'm still above you because I got ego up my ass. That's how people some work. They're the manipulated ones, but they're very insecure. Well, they're very talkative, but being very talkative can be a lot of bullshit going on. That doesn't really, for me personally, that doesn't even connect with confidence. It doesn't for me. For other people, it's the other way around. For some, you know, thinking if you're very talkative and very outgoing, you're very confident. But a lot of people wear masks, and masks are heavy and boring, and that's the anti-confident. That's the absolute bullshit acting that you could be doing to be completely unhonest to people, dishonest to people, do we say? And it just comes out very weak-minded. And where the fuck is your wisdom? That's all I can tell you at that moment. But Boogie was there, and he said that it's not just general female problem, it's human problem. To what she had to say about harassing, you know, and all these general females being used, and males attacking them with all sorts of threats in the internet, and how she experienced it. We all experience it. I've experienced trolling, people call me all kinds of bullshit, and you know, you become tougher. You become tougher with that. You accept it and you learn from it. And honestly, I'm surprised that she's using it the other way around. She's acting as in, okay, so I see. You told me I should kill myself. I'm gonna write it down in some article. Yeah, this guy told me I should kill myself. Now, I didn't know if this guy is male or female because it's text, but I will assume it's male because his name is Ricardo. Ricardo, yes, Ricardo. I would assume he's from this and this and this and but basically, it's all about very ooh. Everything becomes from a mouse to an elephant when it comes down to problems. But problems from a mouse. When you make a person make a mouse into an elephant of problems, that person has got issues that cannot be solved by the internet. And I don't believe in therapy. I believe in self-healing and somebody to talk to, like seriously somebody to talk to get that person out of whichever world she lives in, because she thinks, I believe she lives in the fantasy world. But back to Boogie. When Boogie was on that convention and talking about his friend, that was Boogie, he was, you know, he was also threatened with emails and mails, and even delivered things of like worms, I believe, or something in the box, threatening his family, and all this kind of stuff happened to him as well. So, you know, genders here, we wouldn't really apply to one because we're all in this together. And basically what happened then is, well, he said that he got an email, a threat, that there was a delivery and, you know, somebody's gonna get hurt, and basically it was sent to a friend of his by mistake. Boogie called his friend, said do not open that delivery. Basically that delivery, as it sounded, it was a bluff, but still, you know, of course he was very scared of his, you know, about his friend, and being Boogie was famous and very known. If something happened to his friend, it would probably be on his conscience, you know, because he's a softie. He's a very softie. Actually, he's too soft. He needs to work on that. He must stop being so soft, because I'm gonna go into that a little bit later. But Anita, when Boogie was telling this story, you see, this kind of stories are exciting in a way. They're horrifying, but they're exciting because you don't hear every day some kind of stuff like this. They're adventurous, you know. There's something in a moment, something is happening, you know, something dangerous, yet something that isn't boring for a reason for people to sleep, you know, like listening to some politics, talking another language, thinking they're, you know, with that they're being smart and above others, when, you know, exactly the smartest people tend to speak your language or simple language for other people to even connect. But that's how I see it. Still, Anita Sarkeesian was like, maybe for a second looking at him, and then she was like somewhere else, like completely, you know. You can see a lot when you see a person's face when something like this is happening. You can see their body language, their facial expressions tell everything about the person. And I could see right there, I'm not being judgmental on the, you know, I'm not being complete, oh yeah, it's Anita Sarkeesian, so I'm gonna completely analyze her. But no, the thing is, Boogie came out real, and he came out genuine, and you could see that in facial expression, you could see that on the way he spoke. But you could see that Anita Sarkeesian was not there. She was completely somewhere else, like in her illusion, in herself. She saw in herself, she's completely locked in herself. and she probably thought about how she's gonna make a comeback out of this. And you could see she didn't respect him in that moment. She was there, but she did not respect him to listen to him. And that right there showcases true morality or lack of it. Especially for a person that's a public speaker. You have to also be a good listener, I would assume. Or else you just got your ego up your ass. And, well, there was a question, and Boogie came in with an answer. I cannot seem to remember what the question was, and it's not really the important part. I know that Boogie came in with the answer, and Anita was, after the convention, Boogie gone out to his home, of course, and Anita was waiting there, and she was pissed. The way it ended was, I think I think he managed to stump on her words, or managed to not make the ending she wanted. So she didn't really like that, and she made it clear. Of course, backstage she made it clear. And the thing about Anita is that if she doesn't like questions that you ask her, because she's very into herself and very insecure, she cannot dive into the questions she didn't prepare herself for. She will basically say, you know, you get this person out, basically. That's all she's going to do. And that's the easiest way to spot truly a person that isn't prepared for everything. If you're truly truthful to everyone, then you'll most likely even be able to handle people that's got what you believe are stupid questions. Because you don't got a gun back. Better yet, just move him away like a palm that he is. He's nobody to me. So I will not answer your question because it's a waste of time. I didn't prepare for you. You're way too intelligent for me. That's what she's probably thinking right there in her head. But then again, she doesn't, because she thinks she's the most intelligent person in the world. No, but when you think about it from her perspective, you know, Boogie, he's been nervous. And this person has got a lot of influence. Anita has got a lot of influence, a lot of power. And we all know that she's got this other connections. You know, she's just a pawn for somebody else. Somebody that probably needs her to do what he or she wants her to do. She's not in this as a person to believe. She's in this to gain from it, working for somebody else. There is always somebody that manipulates the manipulator. There's always somebody else down there. And somebody else with more power. Because Anita was nobody at the beginning. Like, say nobody, I'm not degrading. I'm just saying as somebody that wasn't known on the internet, and out of nowhere, everything just, yeah, nah, it doesn't happen like that. But the reason I said she's a sociopath is the lack of empathy, the lack of feeling emotion. Just generally, all that I ever saw her do is being angry and talking like she's waging a war in a way, and trying to make it act all understandable. And then I'm seeing her video, and I see all lack of research, and they paid for this on Kickstarter. And I saw bigger projects. I saw even like for less than this. What is this? A 1 hour video that was researched with minimum editing, minimum research for a person that that's her work is to research on this and represent it. It's lazy made and very rushed, and yet of course, you know, a lot of money has to be put into it before it will be represented to you, because that's how that kind of people will work. Manipulation is all about the money. Manipulation is all about the gain. It's nothing about the give. It's all about the gain for the sake of themselves. Or else, you know, they wouldn't be craving for power. And power equals knowledge. Knowledge equals knowledge of manipulating people. How you manipulate people, you know, give them power to rise up and use it against you. It's all very, very crafty. On some level, it's kind of genius-like, but on the other level, it's very self-damaging. So in this case, she may be, in a way, she may be a genius, in a way, truly. But her life definitely isn't somebody, you know, isn't a life that a woman or a man or whoever would want to put his soul into. At least I don't. Like, seriously, just fuck that. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching. That's all really I want to say regarding damsels in distress and the whole females being sexualized and all this stuff that she's been talking about. When you know exactly the things she says, she doesn't even believe. She just does it for money, and she sees insecure women, and she tells herself, "Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna use your insecurity against you." Well, I'm also insecure, you know. That's why I'm using it, but I tend to have initiative, so I'm gonna be a little bit more dominant than you, but I'm still insecure. So yeah, that's how it is. At least that's how I see it. I'm not saying it is. I'm not the epitome of knowing, but I can see it. For at least that's how I believe it. However you believe it is up to you. It's pretty bad when the person that represents the females here, is a person that's on an actual base against the same gender she represents. Do you know how wicked, twisted? That's just fucking disgusting when you think about it. The way she represents the practices she does really showcases that she doesn't give a shit about her own gender. Judge Judy said it best, actually, when she said she didn't never join feminist movement, or she never really considers herself a feminist, because she always sees us as everyone together, as a one, you know. She never thought of her gender as being the epitome of having this or not having this. She just didn't think about it. You know why? Because she was being genuine with herself. She knows exactly how it works. She got into that spot with her own morale. She got in the spot with her own knowledge and her own power, and with no manipulation. And people like this, that manipulate other girls, make them insecure by exposing stuff and these ideas, they're actually bashing down the female gender. They're not rising them up. They're not making them stand up. No, they're making us hate. They're making men hate. That's the worst you can do. Look, I can just represent myself. I'm all about equality. I'm sorry if there was a man that used you. I'm sorry if there was a man that do anything to you, Anita. I'm sorry if I cannot speak about your life, but I'm pretty sure something had to happen. You know, people do shit things. Some people aren't worth your trust. But you have to trust yourself to know better. You have to trust yourself to know you can go past it and you can move on and you can be a better person for yourself. So if this is the way you believe you're going to be a better person, then I feel bad for you, actually. And to say that, I would have to put myself in the pinnacle. But in this case, while I don't want to judge, I don't think a person like you should even stand to represent women, or even be close to that level. So, yeah, that's just how I look at it. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care of yourself.